Good morning, Sainers. Welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to Saints TV Weekly for May 19th, 2025. As always, and I'll need a few of these today, thanks to Inglewood Coffee Roasters. Check out their website at www.inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au. Redeem your discount via the discount code on your screen now, and you'll get discounts on coffee, tea, and chai products. Okay. All right. Round 10. We took a flight to Perth to play the Eagles, and we lost to the tune of 28 points. So that is our sixth loss now of the season. We moved to 4-6, and we were comprehensively beaten. West Coast, they kicked 16-12. We kicked 12-8. They had a lot of scoring chances. 28 points is semi-flattering. I think we kicked a couple of goals in the last quarter. What did we kick? 6 goals to 6. So it was a shootout in the last quarter. Jack Higgins kicked 5. He was the Mosh man of the match. I thought was worthy. He hasn't had one yet, and yet he's second in the Coleman. Much deserved. And this loss is, it doesn't sit right with me, and I can tell from the reaction from a lot of Sainers, it doesn't sit well with them. My pretty brutal review is out, so if you haven't seen that, feel free. If you need some extra therapy, go and watch it. It's a good 14 minutes of me just trying to make sense of that game and what it means for the rest of the season. I've kind of been forgiving with some of the other losses this year, but I'm not going to be so forgiving with this one. So, not much else to say on that one, to be honest, unless you want to see my review. And 5 things we learned will be out this afternoon on that game. The fixture was released, and no surprises. We are hosting a lot of Sunday games, and after yesterday, do you blame the AFL? So it's round 16 to 24 fixture. I'll quickly run through them now. So we play Fremantle, round 16 on the Sunday, 3:10 at Optus. Round 17, Hawthorn, Marvel, 7:40 Saturday night. Sunday, 3:20 against Sydney at Marvel. Sunday, 1:10 against Geelong in Geelong. Then we've got Marvel, back-to-back Sunday slots for Melbourne and North Melbourne. Then we've got Saturday afternoon early, 1:10, 1:20 against Richmond. So I forgot we do actually have another MCG game, which is good. Richmond will be up and about for that one. Then we've got a Friday night against the Bombers, but I think that's a Friday night that shares another Friday night game, I believe. There might be some overlap. 7:20 p.m. Friday night. And then TBC on round 24, the Giants away. So that's the rest of the season. I would have said, the fixture opens up a little bit. We play Melbourne, North Melbourne, Richmond, Essendon all in a row. But after yesterday, how can you take any game for granted? How can you even look ahead more than a week, honestly? So, let's see where we're at after the bye and see if these games have any substance to them. If we keep playing like we played yesterday, they may not. Injury update. As we know, Dougal Howard is going to be on the sidelines for about 6 to 7 weeks. Hamstring in the final moments of the game last week against Carlton. So that's a major setback for our backline because we just don't have anyone down there that can support Cal Wilkie, and we found that out yesterday. And we're going to find that out next week when Ben King comes to town. So that's a bit of a worry. Mason Wood was back, so that was great. Dan Butler was back, I think. Kicked 2 goals in the VFL, which we'll talk about shortly. Apart from that, Zane Cordy's still 7-8 weeks away. Max King TBC, still Paddy Dow TBC. And Patrick said, I think he might have played VFL. We'll double check. Swinging now to the VFL. Let's see. Sandy did go down by 51 to Werribee. That was at Trevor Barker Oval yesterday. Max Heath was the number 1 Sandy player on the ground. He kicked a goal, 19 disposals, 5 marks, 7 tackles, 35 hitouts. I don't know what else this guy needs to do to just get a game. Ross said yesterday in his presser, we lack height. We need height. Selection stuffed us. That was by his own admission. Bring Max Heath in. Just give him one. We should have given him a game yesterday against the West Coast Eagles. We needed height. Rowan Marshall needed support. We didn't do it. We stuffed up. Zach Jones, 38 disposals, if you don't mind, 7 tackles, 9 clearances, game high, I believe, with Hugh Boxall, who also had 9 clearances and 30 disposals with a goal. Hunter Clark, 27 disposals and a goal with 11 tackles, 6 clearances. Hunter Clark, welcome back. You got to get a game next week. You have to get a game. Hugh Boxall was huge. Zach Jones was. Angus Hastie had 23. Alex Dodson at 18 with 15 hitouts. Isaac Keeler, 15 and 8 marks. Liam Henry are behind in 16 disposals with 5 tackles, so a little bit better there. Jack Carroll, who we haven't seen yet, 16 disposals, 5 tackles. James Barrett, who is a fullback. I don't know if we get desperate, maybe he's going to be a surprise inclusion at some point. Dan Butler, only 3 disposals, kicked 2 goals, laid 2 tackles. Patrick said did play 4 disposals, 2 tackles to round it out. So no one else really jumping out there off the page for me, apart from, you got Max Heath, who dominated. Zach Jones played well. Hunter Clark, Hugh Boxall. And Sandy is so poor at the moment, I just don't know how much value you get just having players like Jones and Clark run around there just getting 30 possessions every week. Selection integrity, I get that, but you know what? We just lost to the bottom team. So there's a few players that are definitely going to be on the chopping block, and I think Jones and Clark surely. If one of them comes in, great. I'd be surprised if none of them come in. Surely we're going to get some experience back against the Gold Coast Suns, because we're going to need it with their midfield in form. And speaking of the Gold Coast Suns, that is round 11. We are speeding through this episode. It is a same slot, Sunday 4:40. So it's the last game of the round again. I mean, that's just the way it is. We are underdogs, as expected. We did beat them last year by 3 points in a very ugly game. But prior to that, they'd beaten us, and then we flogged them. I think their recent record overall, 3 wins from 5. We are 1 win from 5 in our last 5. And they are coming off a very impressive win against, a very impressive 2 wins. 106-96 against the Dogs, who are flying. Like, absolutely flying. And albeit that was on the Gold Coast. And then Hawthorn, they beat 104-96. Great game of football. So, and their loss was to Brisbane by 17. And, Richmond, that was, a Marvel Stadium shocker where they went down. But not the first team that Richmond have lifted for this year. And won't be the last, I don't think. And for us, we have just been poor since that Fremantle game, which gave us a little bit of hope off the back of 2 bad losses, and since then we played Carlton and West Coast, and we've really not fired a shot. So this is going to be a major test of resilience. I'm sick of saying it, but this could get ugly if we play like we did yesterday and the Suns play their best football, because the Suns have everything that will hurt us. They have a midfield that is absolutely on fire at the moment. They have a very, very strong back line, and their forward line with Ben King and Ben Long in particular, ex-Saint, on fire. That's going to be a hard matchup. Ben Long's going to be a very hard matchup when you think about it. He's a small, but he flies for everything. He's a great mark. He's a great set shot. He's good at the ground ball. He lays tackles. He's very honest. That's a perfect Liam Stocker type opponent, but it's going to probably be Jimmy Webster, and that's, to me, that's a massive mismatch because of what Ben Long can do in the air. But we'll talk about that in the preview during the week. So that is Saints TV Weekly. There's no other news really, Saints, apart from I'm going to be copping it left, right, and centre this week, and rightly so, because the team that we support and love put up a bit of a joke of a performance yesterday. So if you haven't checked out the other videos, please do. 5 Things is going to drop. The podcast with Ari and Sammy. The video will come out tomorrow. The audio will come out tonight. And plenty of content in the lead up to the Gold Coast Suns game on Sunday at 4:40. So appreciate you watching this video and supporting the channel. Sainers, if you haven't subscribed, please do. I know that over 51% of the viewers from my review, and there's been a lot of views and engagement on there, are not subscribed. So if you're one of them, I'd really appreciate it if you could help grow the channel. You'll get notified on all future content that comes out. So thanks very much, Sainers. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, and as always, go Mighty Sainers. See you guys.